Hey, what's up, everyone? This is 2 Point Stance. My name's Uriah.
My name is Julio.
You got it right this time?
I got it right this time.
All right.
Sorry, you were on my mind.
It's all good, man. Hey, well, thanks for joining us, guys. I know times are tough right now, all across the world, basically. And,
Sure.
well, first of all, we just want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that's been affected by it. All the families that have lost, somebody, because of this virus. We're really sorry, and we're praying for everyone, and we hope this is over soon, so that way we can continue to live our lives without fear, and we can continue to watch football, right?
Yeah, let's hope.
Or sports. But anyway, sports is the least thing on our minds. We just want to make sure everyone's
True, but there is
healthy.
a lot of jobs at stake, and I'm not just
Yeah.
talking about millionaires. There's
No, for
concessions, there's airports, there's tourist travel. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it.
it
for
brings
sure.
in a lot of revenue to each city. Like I know people in the hotel business that don't have jobs right now.
True.
Which sports brings back because people travel to see their teams.
Yeah.
So obviously, not trying to make sports the most important thing. Obviously, it's not. But there is a lot of jobs at stake here, and
sure.
we need that back.
Yeah. So, like I said, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone. And but today we're going to be talking about free agency. It was a really exciting week, actually.
It's only really been a week.
It's been a week.
I mean, like tampering period, it's like a week and a half.
Yeah.
But it's really only been like a week and 2 days since the legal, the start of free agency or the start of the league year, so to speak.
And you know what? So many exciting moves. Like, wow. We were waiting for this to happen. And
D-Hop, come on, are you serious?
Yeah.
Man,
the memes are funny, bro. Like,
oh my goodness.
yo, somebody need to trade O'Brien. Stuff like that.
Yeah, there's and then some other insensitive things, but we're not going to get into that. But
like he needs to get tested.
yeah, that's one of them. Exactly, that's one of them. And I won't even say for the, not even for that, but for some other reason. But like I said, we don't know the internal conflict in the contract struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like D-Hop probably just got a deal a few years back. He saw the Michael Thomas deal. He saw the Julio Jones deal, and he's like, I want $20 million a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
he
like
wants that.
O'Brien's like, I don't know if we can give you that. We got to pay Deshaun Watson soon.
Yeah.
And so it sucks.
So you think it's just business at the end of the day?
No, I
Like
think it was
money?
business. I think it was money for sure. I know
No
D-Hop.
bad blood.
No, I don't think it was. I mean, it probably got to bad blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, kind of what happened with the Seahawks and the Falcons. Like, sometimes players do get mad at their coaches because they have their trust in their coaches. You're up 24-0 on the Chiefs in a divisional round with Deshaun Watson, Hopkins. Well, you got all these guys. J.J. Watt's back. Whitney Merciless, and you blow it. And not to say, Patrick Mahomes is the baddest man on the planet right now. MVP of the league. Well, MVP of the postseason. Lamar Jackson was the MVP of the league this year. But yeah, I mean, to when you're up 24-0 in a playoff game, like, let's be real, you expect to win.
Yeah.
For
sure.
And I think at that point, that's where DeAndre Hopkins probably did, was a little upset that they didn't advance, to the AFC Championship game.
Oh, for sure. Well, man, that's one of many surprising moves, and but we got a list here that we pulled up, and we're kind of going to be. I'll be shooting out some names, and then we can talk about, these acquisitions that were made, and then we can start off with Austin Hooper. I know, Atlanta boy, and
I mean,
what'd you think of that?
I know people are gonna hate me for this. I know a lot of Falcons fans disagree with me about this, but I'm okay with letting Hooper go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For 4 years, $44 million. Like, I'm not saying Hooper's a bad player, but I don't think he's like a matchup nightmare. Like
Right.
the Kelseys, like the Kittles. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are the ones that I'm like, all right, you can get that kind of money because you create mismatches all over the field.
Right.
Hooper benefited a lot from the Julio Jones and the Calvin Ridley attention. I'm not to say he's not a great player. Look, he is. He's a top 5 tight end in this league. But for $11 million a year, I'm okay with letting him go. I'm sorry. Because you already have Julio. You already have Ridley. Now you bring in Gurley. I mean, how are you going to show all that wealth? Which, to be honest with you, the Cleveland Browns move didn't make sense to me. Because, of all the teams that needed a Hooper, Patriots, were one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, teams like that, Packers need a tight end. Bears have 8 tight ends, but they could use a very good one.
And they went
You know
with
what I
Jimmy
mean?
Graham.
Which, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That
what are you
didn't
going
make too much sense,
What?
in my opinion.
Like, that signing would have been great 5 years ago, but, now. Like, it doesn't make sense to go along with every other tight end that the Bears have. But
Yeah.
I didn't think the Hooper thing made sense. Listen to all the weapons you have. It's amazing and it's tremendous. But how are you going to share the wealth? You got Nick Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt, you got Odell Beckham, you got LaJarvis Landry, you got David Njoku. You know what I mean? You have all these guys, and now you add Austin Hooper. Like, how are you going to?
Yeah,
That's a lot of, it should be a mismatches for defenses, but like, I guarantee you, your quarterback don't even know who to get the ball to. And especially when you got someone like Baker Mayfield, and an alpha like Odell Beckham who demands, the ball. So I don't know. I hope everything goes well for Hooper. He's in the AFC. I wish the Browns the best. I am rooting for the Browns, that they look like a fun team to watch. I just don't think the signing itself made a lot of sense.
Well, we're seeing that now too, because Freddie Kitchens he didn't live up to the he wasn't able to control all those guys, but maybe Kevin will.
I mean,
Maybe.
who's Kevin? Like,
I know. Maybe.
I mean,
you never know.
I don't know. I have a theory about having too many weapons. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just sometimes it hamstrings you. I mean, hamstrings you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't play the same as a team that knows who to get the ball to, and then other weapons that open up because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? And obviously, I know the Browns are making a run for it because, hey, Baker's on his rookie contract.
Sure.
You got to take advantage of that and get as many players surrounding him as possible. I get it. I would have went more on defense if I was Cleveland, though. But that's just me.
Well, let's talk about his replacement. The
Falcons, Hayden
Falcons,
Hurst.
yeah.
I think Hayden Hurst, obviously he was a first round pick. Supposedly in the 2018 draft, the Falcons have interest in him.
Mm-hmm.
He went one pick before the Falcons at 25. Falcons picked 26. Calvin really landed in our laps. We had no choice but to take him.
Right.
So I get why the Falcons were still interested in Hayden Hurst. Hey, we got a first round pick for a second and a fifth, and we got a fourth round back. It hurts me to lose that second. Although it was our second round pick, the one that we got for the Mohamed Sanu trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically saying you traded Mohamed Sanu for Hayden Hurst and a fourth rounder. So, like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a horrible trade, and I think Hayden Hurst is bigger than Austin Hooper.
Mm-hmm.
He's more athletic than Austin Hooper.
Right.
He doesn't drop many passes. He has one of the best catch rates, first of all, in college football when he came out, as well as in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great pickup by Atlanta, to be honest with you. I really do. I wish we could have gave up a little bit less, but we know how Baltimore, how good their front office is. They're going to win most of their trades. I mean, they went ahead and took that fifth round pick that we gave them, and they swapped it for Calais Campbell. Tell me how great that front office is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that was nice.
Come on, So I think Hayden Hurst is going to do, like, you think of how athletic he is on top, like we said, the Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, hopefully Todd Gurley doesn't return too much as MVP for him, but hey, if he gives us 70 to 75% of his MVP form, I mean, Atlanta's going far. Like, there's no question.
Oh, yeah.
With the other weapons we have, no question.
Arik Armstead, he stays with San Francisco.
Surprising, to say the least. Not because of the player. He's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact is, San Francisco made a decision. Okay, do we sign Armstead for $85 million a year?
Or Buckner.
And they said, you know what? I think we got to go with the cheaper Armstead and then get rid of Buckner, which is super surprising because I believe Buckner's a better player.
Mm-hmm.
Buckner's a strong man. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there with the Fletcher Coxes, the Chris Jones, and obviously Aaron Donald is above everybody else.
Right.
But man, it was shocking. But I could see, they get a first round pick out of it for Buckner. You know what I mean? They lock up Armstead. They still got that fearsome foursome up front with Bosa, Armstead, D Ford, and then Solomon Thomas. We'll see if he can keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Niners did a good job. But I think it's hard to say that they're better because obviously they lost Buckner, who's ridiculous presence on the inside, but pretty smart trade. But it is surprising. I think I would have kept Buckner, but for $20 million a year, I get it.
So Buckner to the Colts.
To the Colts, 20. I mean, I love it.
Me too.
Like, that's a great pickup by the Colts. Like, Colts get it. Like, what are they doing? Your offensive line has to be strong. Your defensive line has to be strong, and they're going to build that around Phillip Rivers this year. I like what the Colts are doing, and obviously with the AFC getting a little bit weaker, obviously Rivers leaves the Chargers, Brady leaves the Patriots. Like, the Jaguars are rebuilding. Can Tennessee really replicate that magic that they had last year? I mean, Colts got to be one of the favorites in the AFC, up there with the Chiefs and the Ravens. No question. I mean, that's a great pickup by them.
Yeah, great pickup. And then we have
There's some minor ones.
there's some minor ones. Yeah.
Raiders get some linebackers.
Shaq Lawson, man, Miami.
I mean,
Miami's.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Miami just threw money around at some bodies, and like I'm not saying these guys aren't productive players. I mean, I like Flores a lot. Yeah. I'm hoping that he turns Miami around. Obviously, like I'll be rooting for them, but like
they might be the Eagles when they had all those all-stars.
I mean, there's no all-stars. They got good.
Remember that year though?
Yeah, of course. 2012. Yeah. 2012 when the Eagles had the dream team.
They spent all this money on free agency.
Exactly. And they kind of fell apart. But the thing is, I don't think the Dolphins went too way out. I think some of the money they gave to like Eric Flowers, Shaq Lawson, Cal Van Noy. Can they use Cal Van Noy the way Bill Belichick did? I mean, I know Flores is a Belichick disciple, but at the end of the day, like Belichick just makes everybody better.
Oh, for sure.
And anytime, same thing with Matt Patricia and the Lions. Like anytime you take anybody away from New England, like they're not the same player. Trey Flowers got big money last year. I think it was 5 years, $90 million. What did he do? Did you hear anything about Trey Flowers last year?
Barely.
No, and it's not even because he's in Detroit. He just didn't do much. It's totally different when you take players out of that system. So I'm not crazy about giving expatriates big money because we'll see. How
about big money Byron Jones?
A lot of money I like Byron Jones as a player.
Yeah.
Like athletic, just an athletic freak, physically gifted. He's special, but he doesn't make a lot of plays on the ball.
Sure.
But guess what? You team him with Xavier Howard down there in Miami. Can you replicate a little bit of what the Patriots do in New England? With Stephon Gilmore and then all the other cornerbacks they have too, because they switch it up. You got you got Jason McCourty, J.C. Jackson. You got all these cats that Belichick so wisely matches them up depending on who they play, which is incredible when a coach does that. But I would like to see like these two really strong cornerbacks. Do they give the front seven time to get to the quarterback and make Miami a fighter in the AFC? AFC East, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, they got the pieces though. Kyle Van Noy,
Shaq Lawson, Byron
Jones.
No, yeah, they definitely picked up some guys, and they got tons of ammunition in the draft. I mean, you got 5 picks in the first 2 rounds, like 5 picks in the first 2 rounds in a deep draft. So Miami's definitely they're gonna be loaded.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, initially, I think we were all thinking like, dude, Miami is stupid. They're dumb. What are they doing? But they knew what they're doing.
They make it fun for the offseason.
Oh, for
sure.
You know
what I mean? Like, is this going to translate to wins on the field? I don't know. But if you're a Miami fan, like, this offseason has got to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and also, obviously, the beginning of the regular season when you just got all the teams have high hope with the parity in the NFL. But, at the same time, like I said, it's just like that exciting time when, like, any team that, even if they did good, but if you didn't win the Super Bowl, right? Any team that didn't win the Super Bowl, you're still disappointed.
Right.
That means 31 teams are disappointed. 31 fan bases are disappointed, except the one. So when you can go and join at least the offseason and be like, all right, 31 of us didn't win the Super Bowl, but my team has crazy amount of cap space and crazy amount of ammunition in the draft, like that makes the offseason so exciting to go into. So as a Miami fan, they got to be ecstatic,
Well, yeah, you're right. No, something concerning is, with this whole COVID-19 is, physicals, man. Physicals and being able to evaluate these players, that were hurt last year or 2 years ago and they got a lingering injury, So, man, I hope a lot of these deals, stay intact, but I wouldn't be surprised, if
we have 2 already.
3. Michael Brocker, when we were talking about that?
Michael Brocker's deal fell through. He didn't pass his physical with the Ravens, so the Rams snatched him back up. So that means the Rams kind of knew what was going on.
Right.
Obviously, they didn't trade him. They weren't trying to do anything, no funky business. But they just kind of probably knew because the Ravens obviously did a physical or found out about something they didn't like. Voided the contract. Rams say, okay, we'll take him back, and the Rams took him back. So whatever he had, the Rams were comfortable with re-signing him. And then the other one is Darqueze Dennard to the Jaguars. Not a big name, but a guy that was in a no-fly zone at Michigan State. Solid player. It was going to be exciting to see what he does in Jacksonville, considering Jacksonville's rebuilding, to see what he could do. But his physical didn't pass, and so his contract was voided with the Jaguars. So he's now a free agent again.
Right.
So what's scary is the rest of these players that got signed, because teams couldn't make it official because of the physicals, will other deals fall through? Like you were saying, my biggest fear, like Todd Gurley to the Falcons. Obviously, we know about his knee concerns. Man, that would suck if that fell apart. At least for all the Georgia fans in Atlanta that love the idea of him coming back.
Yeah,
home.
they were all just basically playing fantasy football at this point. You know,
Yeah,
just on paper and what they see on film. I get this guy, I get this guy, but I don't know, man. Talk to us a little bit about Gurley though. You like that? Since we're just
like I said, if you can get a Gurley from 2017 to 2018, even 70 to 75% of that, and I mean obviously production,
right?
Man, that's incredible. You know, Gurley, even if I don't care if he's just a red zone threat, I'm dead serious. If you want to use another running back from between the 20s,
yeah, even last year he had more than
14 touchdowns.
14 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah, he had 12 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns. Like, man, like you put that on Atlanta with their offense, like I'll take 14 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Freeman had what? I think he had 4. I think he might have had maybe 2 receiving and 3 rushing or something like that. Wasn't a lot. So like, man, I'm down with Gurley, especially for a year contract. I was expecting to draft one in the second round, but the moment we gave up that second round pick for Hayden Hurst, I was like, oh shoot, like we might miss out on the running back that we want.
True.
You know, that second round pick is where I was eyeing like a Cam Akers from Florida State, if he was there, but we don't have it anymore. So at this point, I'm okay with a 1-year deal for Gurley and seeing what he gives us.
You got somebody solid backing up Todd Gurley, you know, just in case, because you don't want to give him a ton of carries, like a McCaffrey carries.
No, of course
you
not.
can't. So
I don't want
you got
to.
somebody back there that'll.
I liked who the Falcons had going into the season. That guys who have promise. I mean, they haven't shown us a lot, but I like Ito Smith as a change of pace back. Brian Hill shows his explosiveness at times. He just got to read the holes better. But man, when he gets an open field, he's out.
Yeah.
Kaji Allison, a big, powerful back who did really good in the red zone for us last year, scoring 4 touchdowns on his limited carries. I think those 3, I said I would like to draft one. Dimitroff might have to trade back if the guys that we're targeting are not there. Let's say like a Javon Kinlaw and CJ Henderson are gone at pick 16. Maybe trading back and getting some more ammunition because we have a lot of holes.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. But yeah, if those guys are gone, I would trade back. But I like the Gurley deal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not for 1 year. It's a high risk, high reward deal. You know,
Eric Murray, big loss in Kansas City, huh?
Well, he was like a third safety for them. You know, obviously he came in and played a little bit more in the playoffs after Juan Thornhill got hurt. Juan Thornhill got hurt in the last regular season game.
But he was key, man.
No, he played well in the playoffs. But remember, they actually moved Fuller to free safety, and then Murray was more of a third safety. He played well in the playoffs for sure, and hey, he got $20 million out of it, you know, by the Texans. And I don't know what the Texans are doing. They just throw money at safeties and they get rid of D-Hop. They literally signed like 3 safeties this offseason on top of the safeties they already had.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I don't even know what they're doing over there.
Yo, let's talk about that. I remember we were at Costco and we were talking about the Stephon Diggs trade. Came out of nowhere.
Man, like, can you imagine, like, one thing I would say, like, can you imagine being a Texans fan? You find out that one of your best players, second best player on the team, gets traded, right? And you get a second-round pick. I think it's a 4th-round pick. And then David Johnson and maybe a 4th next year, something like that. I think it was 2 4s, right? And then Stephon Diggs nets the Minnesota Vikings a 1st-round pick, a 5th round and 6th, and then a 4th round next year. You can't get a 1st for D-Hop. Now, I get it. The Cardinals, who probably showed the most interest, they had the 8th overall pick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, you're not going to give up the 8th overall pick for D-Hop. You're just not. You're not going to give up a top 10 pick for D-Hop.
Those miles.
You can't. I'm sorry, and I know he's a great player and all. I'm not discounting that, but you could get a younger, cheaper version. You know what I mean? At 8 overall, or you know, in this draft, you know, if Isaiah Simmons falls to the Cardinals, do you pass him up? If a Tristan Wirfs, an offensive lineman to protect your biggest asset, you know, Kyler Murray, you can't give up that 8th overall pick. So I get it. Minnesota's giving up a 1st-round pick, but it's like the 22nd overall pick or the 25th, 25th, excuse me. So now Minnesota has the 22nd and the 25th overall pick in the 1st round. But man, Buffalo, I give you credit. You get one of the best route runners in the league. You know what I mean? To pair with Josh Allen and the rest of those weapons. I'm excited for Buffalo, first of all, because obviously the Patriots got weaker, no question.
Oh, for sure.
I am interested to see what Belichick could do with these pieces, because how great of a coach he is. I know what one thing every NFL fan that's not a New England Patriot fan fears is the Patriots falling apart this year and getting like a Trevor Lawrence next year, because then then it's a wrap. Like
for the next 10
oh, bro,
years.
it's not even gonna be fun again. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, at this point, Bill Belichick can afford to.
Oh, he can do what he wants. 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, 6 Super. Like, I'm gonna forfeit this season. Forfeit. And
yeah, of course. Like we talked about, we're not gonna tank. There's too many players.
They're gonna tank, and
I don't believe in tanking.
Yeah, but if they go Trevor Lawrence, forget about it.
Yeah, that's scary.
Forget
I'm hoping Jarrett Stidham steps up just a tad, just enough for them to go like a good 7-9, 8-8. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And get them out of that picture for sure.
Hey, but the Lions made some moves too. We were just talking about Trey Flowers, and then you got Jamie Collins, 2 ex-Patriots. You know.
I mean.
Hey, but you got what's his name? Head coach over there is
Matt Patricia. I mean, there's horrible things coming out about Matt Patricia. Darius Slay said some things about Matt Patricia.
Oh yeah, that was.
Like to me, it's like like we just talked about. You sign players from the Patriots, and they just don't perform the same. I hate to say that, but it's just true. Would I like to see the Lions do well? Yeah, I mean. We don't need another powerhouse in the NFC. Let's be real. There's too many as it is. But at the same time, I feel bad for Matthew Stafford, a guy that's given it his all, has so many injuries just because the guy plays his heart out and gives it everything he's got every week in and week out.
Yeah.
And then it's just surround him with just mediocre pieces. Jamie Collins started off last year looking like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, then falls off again, starts messing up his assignments again.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the guy you want on your team? Like, I don't know. I feel bad for the Lions, to be honest with you, man. From seeing them lose and waste, Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson's careers to the fact that they both early retire because they just tired of losing, breaks my heart, man. And especially for the people in Detroit, they deserve better.
Oh, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the Cowboys, man.
Cowboys did kind of what we thought they'd do, right? Like,
for me, they should have just kept Byron Jones and got rid of Amari Cooper. 5 years, $100 million. Dude, what the heck, man? That's
the only things you could say about. I mean, that's a lot of money for Coop. That's a lot of money for Coop, and it's like I said, it's probably the reason why another reason why DeAndre Hopkins wasn't happy with his contract. I'm not saying Amari Cooper isn't a great receiver, but I mean, the only thing you can say about Amari Cooper is that the Dallas Cowboys offense was totally different when he came into the picture.
Yeah.
No question. They no longer could stack the box as much as they like against Ezekiel Elliott. But Amari Cooper is one of those receivers. Yeah, he'll eat up your number 2 cornerback. But when he plays against number 1 cornerbacks, it's not the same.
Right.
And you can't make the excuse Dak don't have time. Dak has one of the best offensive lines in the league. You know what I mean? You got time to get open, brother.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's not like Atlanta where people say, oh, Marshall Lattimore shut Julio Jones down. Watch the tape and you see that Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, and Sheldon Rankins are in Matt Ryan's face in 2 seconds. He don't even have time to throw to Julio.
Right.
That's a totally different situation in Dallas. But obviously another one is the big loss of Travis Frederick. That was shocking.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. He had a Pro Bowl year last year. Yes, he missed a year before with the sickness that he had. But man, that's a big loss for Dallas. Even though they got Joe Looney back, he started for Travis Frederick in 2018. But Frederick is
young. Was he in his 30s?
Only 7 years in the league. He was probably about to be 29, 30, around there.
Yeah, he still had some.
Oh yeah, he still had some mileage.
Especially the centers. The centers seem to last a
little longer
than the usual. But Teddy B, man, Carolina, surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm literally at a lost for words. Number one, obviously, we had him on here. My boy Eggy, big Carolina Panthers fan. We had him on our podcast talking about the Panthers. I mean, none of us saw Teddy Bridgewater going to the Panthers.
No.
You're giving Teddy Bridgewater $20 million a year. Mm-hmm. Okay, Cam was going to set to make 19.1.
Yep.
Is Teddy Bridgewater better quarterback than Cam right now?
No, heck no.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe they know something about his injury that we don't know because so far Cam hasn't been signed.
Right.
He got released. So right now you can sign him. He got released for a reason. You don't have to give up any compensation for him. You don't even have to give up a comp pick because he got cut. He's not a free agent.
Right.
So you're not going to lose a compensatory pick next year for that reason. And he's still not signed. Although maybe he's taking his time and realizing, you know what, maybe I'll sit this one out. Maybe something will happen until I get a better opportunity for myself. But something's going on where Cam's not signed yet. You know what I mean? And so I'm a little confused as to you would give Teddy $20 million a year. But if Tannehill got $29 million a year. I guess I get it because it's just the going rate for quarterbacks now. You know?
Let's talk about my Chargers, man.
I like it.
Brian Beluga to start. Man, I think that's a great pick. Well, I mean, they franchise tagged Hunter Henry. They re-signed Austin Eckler. And then now you pick up somebody like Brian Beluga. And you made that trade for Trey Turner. That's exciting for me. I like it.
It's very interesting to me because why, I had brought this theory up to you before, and I didn't hear this anywhere else. I literally thought about this myself. You're bolstering the right side of the offensive line. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute, why would you bolster the right side of your offensive line? You still have Dan Feeney and Forrest Lamp competing for the left guard spot, and then you got Trey Pipkins on the left side. Why would you not try to bolster that up? I mean, I know Trey Pipkins was a third-round pick last year. You okay with Trey Pipkins protecting Tyrod Taylor or one of your new quarterbacks? Or, this is my theory, are you fortifying the right side of your offensive line for a left-handed quarterback?
Tua.
Hence, there you go, Tua. Are the Chargers going to make a move for Tua?
Maybe. That's what it looks like, dude, honestly. Man, I don't know, dude. It just... So many injuries, brother. We were talking about this the other day. That list is long with injuries. It's not just that one, hit he took and that dislocated hip.
Oh, yeah, multiple.
It's multiple injuries. So that's the only reason why I'm like, man, I don't know about Tua. Special for sure.
Accuracy is incredible.
Yeah, but dude, say that we do have one very nice year from Tua, right? Like beautiful season, right? A lot of touchdowns and great throws, and then we go on a season number 2 or number 3, and he just gets popped, and then we're screwed from there, dude. If he gets popped and he gets hurt, similar to what he did, he could have one of those like
so in your mindset,
career-ending injuries, bro, because he's just been hurt. He's pretty fragile, bro. At this point, he's pretty fragile, and these defensive tackles and these defenses aren't getting in, they're just getting faster and stronger. So I don't know, man.
Makes you nervous.
It makes you nervous for sure, bro. So
in the sense of like making a move to trade up for him, or even if he drops to number 6.
I don't take him even if he drops to number 6.
No?
Yeah. I everyone thinks like, no, you gotta go, but if he drops to number 6, I don't know, man. I would reconsider. My theory is like I told you, like, it's changed. First, I was on a Justin Herbert train, and if they go Justin Herbert, I'm okay. If they go Jordan Love, I'm okay too. California kid, if the Chargers are down by 21, against Pat Mahomes, and then you have baby Pat Mahomes, that's what everyone's saying. On the other side, like who's more likely to bring you back, Justin Herbert or Jordan Love? I think Jordan Love can make those plays, off script and with his arm strength. And play a little bit of backyard football to get back in those games, as opposed to Justin Herbert, more of a game manager, kind of like a Josh Allen, like, hey, what's the game plan? Let's go execute that game plan. Let me make the throws that I need to make. But I don't think I've seen, off script a lot from Justin Herbert.
I agree.
Then Jordan Love is. We've seen it. And he's definitely, what everyone calls the little baby Mahomes. And we're only saying baby Mahomes because even when I sent you remember I sent you the video?
I mean, Harold Miner was called Baby Jordan in the NBA in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
that was bad. But remember the video I sent you of Jordan Love? And you're like, yo, who's this kid? And then you saw, but then you see the similarities.
There's no
similarities. And you're just like, whoa. I even told you, I was like, yo, this dude like throws like Mahomes. Yeah, and you said it, like, if he looks like, if he's like a half Mahomes, half of what Mahomes
60%
is,
of Mahomes,
60, like, take it, bro.
Yeah, no, I would personally.
If they go Justin Herbert, I get it. If the Jordan Love, makes a little more sense for me, especially the California kid, or he could bring, like you said,
50 fans from Bakersfield. You know what I mean? Hey, like the Chargers need that. The Chargers need that. Those people in those seats. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to be fair, like that's the funny thing about these 3 kids. Obviously not Burrow. We're not talking about Burrow dropping to number 6 or them moving up for him.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, obviously, wins put butts in seats, right? We know that. But it's funny because like all these kids are really West Coast kids, right? Tua Samoan, you know what I mean? Like you got a big Samoan population out here in Southern California. Obviously Herbert's from Oregon. There's a lot of transplants from Oregon over here. A lot of big Ducks fans in the West Coast. And then you also have Jordan Love, who's from Bakersfield. You know, so it's like either way, like either three of those kids, either one of those three kids, like they're gonna bring fans from the West Coast to the LA for the Chargers. And like to me, it's like you can't, in that sense, like obviously we want wins, but man, that defense looks special. I'll be honest with you, like I know we didn't touch too much on the defense. We talked about Hunter Henry, Brian Bulaga, Trey Turner, Austin Eckler. That defense looked special. The addition of Chris Harris, Linval Joseph, Nick Vigil, like, and that's not even adding, you know, a Huffy Derwin James coming back. Casey Hayward on the opposite side. Desmond King. Now you can...
They have Nasir Adderley.
Nasir Adderley steps
because
up.
I saw him in preseason.
Jerry Tillery.
Oh, my goodness. Jerry Tillery,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
rounder.
you know, the great draft they had last year mixed in with whatever they draft this year. Like, man, that, like, what amazes me is can the Chargers have a Carolina Panthers 2015 season? What I mean by that, an offense that's running the ball and complements the defense so well, and vice versa. I mean, that being said, and I don't mean to do you bring in a Cam Newton and not waste the defense for a year? Well, look, you gotta remember, Casey Hayward and Chris Harris are both getting close to 30.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we can't keep thinking that's gonna last forever.
Right.
You know, Bosa, Ingram, great. Same thing with Ingram. Ingram's close to 30. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's Bosa young, yeah, Tillery young, yeah, Nasir Adderley young, absolutely. But we can't keep wasting the years of Ingram, Hayward, and Harris.
Sure.
So, like, man, is that defense special enough? And I think it could be, because it was a top 5 last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were up there, yeah.
Wasn't it? It was just
top 10, I believe.
Those Phillip Rivers
But
interceptions
still,
and turnovers. You know, Gurley fumbling. I mean, not Gurley. Excuse me. Melvin Gordon fumbling inside the 1 yard line against Tennessee. You know, those last minute losses that just crush you. That Detroit Lions pick that Rivers threw that didn't make any sense.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
Slay.
Exactly. You know, big play Slay. But that's what I mean. Like, man, if that defense is as special as it is, and it's getting better. A run stuffer like Linval Joseph, man, I don't want to waste that defense. I don't want to waste a year with that defense. And can Cam at least have that type of... He doesn't have to have the MVP season he had in 2015.
Right.
He's just got to complement that defense, and we'll be fine. You think Tyrod could do that?
Well, look at Tyrod's numbers, though. When he was a starter, his record wasn't the best, but his numbers were impressive. Why?
Controls the ball.
Double the touchdowns. You know, less interceptions.
Yes, but what in today's NFL, the thing that scares me with Tyrod, he doesn't take the chances when they're there.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wants the guy to be open, or he's going to take off and run. Sometimes you got to make those anticipation throws. I mean, you have Mike Williams, you have Keenan Allen, but you have Hunter Henry,
but he can make those plays with his feet too.
Yeah, but do you want to waste those receivers too? Like, you got to give them opportunities. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, he will, but what I'm saying is, like, you know, sometimes, like, would you rather sling it and, you know, take one of those chances and that might be an interception or a complete pass, or you can just say, you know what, I'm not too sure about that throw, let me use my legs. And he gains 10, 12 yards, you know? Now, if you know something's wide open and you know for sure and he makes those throws, great. But I think that, you know, it's his legs, man. I mean, he got speed too.
No, he does. He definitely does.
And I think that's what he uses more. You say he doesn't take those chances because, you know, I think he sees it and he's not confident with it, and he'll just run. But we've seen a lot of special runs from him too.
Yeah, of course. But for me, like, you have in this league, in order to win, we saw it. What happened this year? I mean, the best team in the NFL went down 24-0 in the divisional round. Went down down by 10 in the championship game, down by another 10 in the Super Bowl. You know, like, you need a quarterback that's going to make those throws to bring you back, those special throws. I'm not saying Cam Newton is Pat Mahomes, but Cam Newton's arm is better than Tyrod Taylor's. But, you know, unless his shoulder is.
Yeah. Now we're just talking about. Okay, so now.
And trust me, nobody roots against Cam.
Right, I know what you mean, but at this point, like you said, with this defense that we have, we shouldn't be down 14, 21 points. With a defense like this,
but you have Pat Mahomes in your division, so
well, yeah. But
look what he did at San Fran.
Let me finish my theory real quick. So, if they go Herbert and they go Love, great. You know, fine. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But my thing, and I was just telling you the other day too. Go get we haven't had a beast linebacker since like what, Junior Seau?
Got to be one before that. I mean, after that, excuse me.
Who? Well, you can't name him at the
Well,
top.
you're talking about inside
like
linebacker.
Special.
Like
yeah.
inside linebacker.
Yeah, or just the linebacker period. Doesn't matter if it's...
No, Sean Merriman.
Well, yeah.
He was an edge.
Yeah,
but he was still
edge.
a linebacker.
Yeah, he was nice, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like somebody that, anyways, well, I think we should go get Simmons. In my opinion, this is my new theory. Go get Simmons at number 6, right? And we were just talking about that defense and how special they are, and adding somebody like Simmons to that defense that you were just naming. How's that?
It's special.
Yeah.
I mean, so much for Kelce. You know what I mean? Like now you got Derwin James and Simmons to guard him, and then you hopefully got guys that can, at least double Tyreek. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, and it'd be a scary defense to go against.
And we can go get Jalen Hurts.
Oh, you like that?
Well, you know what?
You look like he's improving.
I do, and I think if he sits a year, he sits behind, I think that'll help him. And then with the right quarterback coach,
and you don't have to change your offense.
No.
In other words, like if God forbid Tyrod gets hurt, Jalen could come in and run the same type.
Same type of offense.
I feel he's the same type of player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And who knows?
Maybe better.
Take a little more chances.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I like Simmons and a Jalen Hurts in the second. And if they got to trade up a little bit more, like if they feel somebody's gonna take, Jalen, then we'll move up. Who cares, man? Like there's a lot of people out there that like Jalen Hurts. I've read the comments, and he didn't go to a small school. He was
Alabama and Oklahoma, and he won a national championship.
Yeah. So and his numbers weren't bad at all either.
No, not at all. I mean, Georgia was destroying Alabama in the SEC championship game in 2019 season, and Jalen Hurts comes in, brings them back when Tua got hurt. That's one of the injuries that Tua got.
Oh yeah.
Comes in, brings them all the way back. You know what I mean? And
so he has it
for Georgia. Yeah, he does has it. And then obviously he transferred to play under Lincoln Riley this year.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea either.
Simmons and that's a big splash right there. Like because people,
I think
like
so.
I said,
I mean,
people have seen Jalen. Simmons is somebody special that we saw all through the playoffs and throughout the whole season. And then I know we were talking about,
and you're still not giving up picks.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it.
And we were talking about, having that quarterback to sell the seats, at the new stadium, and having that franchise quarterback and making a splash at quarterback to bring some more fans to the stadium. But I'm a firm believer if we go Simmons, like that's going to be what's going to bring people to the stadium, like a special defense like that, shutting people out, pick sixes, strip sacks. You
don't see LA as that. When you think of LA, you think of flash, you think of glamour. But I mean, hey, why not a just dirty defense in powder blue? Kind of. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't make too much sense, but hey, why not?
Yeah, and whatever we can do on offense, then.
Hey,
I don't know. I'm getting more pumped on that theory.
I mean, that's a disgusting defense. I mean, that would be a really special defense. I mean. Would it be on par with the 2000 Ravens and 86 Bears? I don't know. But guess what? 85 Bears, excuse me.
But Derwin James, Simmons.
Oh, dude,
speed.
It'd be fun to watch as a defense, man. There's nothing. I don't know. I'm a big football fan, but there's nothing like having a good defense on your team.
Adderley's what, 6'1", 6'2"? He's a
6'1",
tall.
202, something like that.
He's quick, man. I was able to I was watching his college highlights, and then I was able to get a glimpse at him in the preseason last year, and he came in and you can just see him, bro. He's ball hawking, bro. I think I sent you some clips, no? That day.
Well, yeah, I mean, not only that, I mean, you don't always have to pay that cover 3 defense where the defenses already know what you're going to do pre-snap and they just tear you up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you could be like, all right, well, I'll put Derwin James on a tight end or running back, or then switch it. Oh, I'll put Simmons on a tight end or a running back, and vice versa. Adapt, switch, start playing man-to-man with Casey Hurd and Chris Harris. I mean, that'll be and then the pass rush, obviously, that you already have with Bosa and Ingram, and then Tillery in the middle. I think it would be special. It'd be fun to watch, for sure. I think so, no question.
Yeah, so that's the theory for me going into, we shift over to the draft, but, and a couple, talking about the quarterbacks and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. But
anyways, I like the moves that we made. But let's look at this list. Let's see what else.
I mean, are we not going to talk about the big one, or you want to leave them for later?
Where's that? Oh,
I mean, you forget
TB to TB. That one.
Yeah, TV to TV, exactly. Hopefully he catches TV. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Lord. Please forgive me. Yeah, man, I'm not looking forward to it. Not because I'm scared of Tom Brady.
He's in your division. I think that's exciting. I like it.
No, for you, you're not in my division. Obviously, you know what I mean? But what scares me the most, like I said, I'm not scared of Drew Brees. I'm not scared of Tom Brady. I'm scared of Sean Payton and Drew Brees and Bruce Arians and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin with Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like 43-year-old quarterbacks, we're getting into unprecedented territory. You know what? Vinny Testaverde is one of the only ones that did it, and he wasn't that great when he was there. No. So, like, you know, there's not many quarterbacks that play that old, and we could see them hitting a wall like Brett Favre did. You know what I mean? Brett Favre had an amazing season, looking like they were Super Bowl bound before Bountygate with the New Orleans Saints, terribly officiated NFC Championship game in 2009. But, hey, like, all of a sudden, you put Tom Brady with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. Makes me a little nervous. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. It makes me a little nervous. On top of that, Atlanta's secondary, or at least cornerbacks, are not too strong right now. Our pass rush isn't where it should be. Yeah, no, as a Falcons fan, I'm super scared. We're just going to have to win shootouts. I guess 11 first-round picks. We better be able to, you know?
Damn, brother.
Clowney's still out there.
Yeah, I was just looking at it right now. Seattle offered him 13, but he wants 18.5. Oh no. So not the 18.
Yeah. So basically, the talks was that he wanted 20. Yeah. Seattle had offered him 18.5. Now they're saying that that's not true. Seattle only offered him 13.
Man, he just wants too much money, bro.
He does. The thing is, he has to realize it's not. He's a great player. He can, like I said, he messes games up on his lonesome. But the thing is, his injury history, and production. You know what I mean? Like, he's not giving you those stats. I mean, not that I'm not a stat guy. I think stats lie, the film doesn't.
Right.
But it's just at the end of the day, like, when his injury history, as well as, you know what I mean, wanting $20 million a year, you're gonna hamstring yourself as a team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It chokes you out.
How about the Melvin Gordon to the Broncos? I
was surprised.
Yeah, I didn't think it made too much sense.
Well, I mean, you already got Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman. Maybe Royce Freeman is now available via trade. If John Elway wants to get rid of him, it makes sense in the sense of, like, now you have power back and lightning. You got Phillip Lindsay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got Thunder, Lightning, Ron Dane, Tiki Barber type. You know, you got the Ron Dane, Tiki Barber type. Now you got Melvin Gordon. I mean, I like it. It weakens a division rival. You know, the Chargers. At the same time, you know, you're getting a little stronger. But yeah, it caught me by surprise. Yeah. You know, but
I think we'll have to draft one. We'll have to draft a running back too. Justin Jackson, Austin Eckler, which I really like. We saw glimpses of them, you know, 2 years ago when they went 12-4. When Melvin was out for like 4 games, they looked nice, but I still think we need a big back. You know, somebody that can really.
Who you liking? I mean, I don't want to go too much into the draft. I know. But hey, what you said. Let's say we go with what you said. We talk about Isaiah Simmons in the first round, Jalen Hurts in the second round, and then, I mean, AJ Dillon in the third. That dude's a physical. You want to talk about a big back? You know what I'm saying? With that kind of athletic ability, and we saw what Derrick Henry did this year. Bro, if that dude drops to the third and you get Simmons, Hurts, and then, boy, what a draft class. Just the first 3 rounds would be just money. Just money.
Too excited, man. Too bad we can't go to Vegas, bro.
No, it's not going to happen. Nobody can.
Nah, nobody can.
What are you going to do?
We had the flights booked and everything to go to the NFL draft.
Excited. We thought we were going to go to our first draft ever. It's not happening, but hey, we know why.
You know what? I hope they do it in Vegas next year. Like, you know, with all this, like they redo it.
My understanding is gonna. I mean, maybe not next year, a couple years later, because the other teams, there's other cities that have it in place already.
Or we'll just wait till the LA one. Maybe with the new stadium and the new NFL Network development.
That makes sense.
You know they're gonna have it in LA eventually. But anyways.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but any other side? Malcolm Jenkins, man. I know you had something You were telling me all the Saints,
Bro, I don't even want to know, bro. Every year the Saints have cap trouble, and every year somehow they sign like 5 players, and like not even small players either.
The big time.
Like they signed Malcolm Jenkins, they somehow retain Andres Pete. They signed like a couple other cats. I'm not even gonna. I'm just get frustrated just even thinking about. Oh, like re-signed Janoris Jenkins. Like I'm like, what is going on here? They signed. Oh, Emmanuel Sanders. What?
Oh yeah.
How? Like how? I know Breeze took a $25 million deal, but what?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it, but I mean, they got to pay Kamara. They're gonna pay Kamara eventually. This is his last year, unless they franchise him the next year. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Saints do. And they put a first round tender on Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah.
Bro, tell me how they got out of that cap. I mean, maybe they restructured some contracts. So it just feels like the salary cap is imaginary sometimes, like for real. But
For the Saints.
for the Saints, at least, exactly.
Because we're over here trying to penny pinch.
Oh yeah, seriously, we get Fowler. We trade for a tight end with the first, with the
Give a
on his
pick,
draft. His like rookie contract, and then we sign one other guy, and like we're already hamstrung on salary cap. So whatever.
Who else? Let's take a look here.
The Bengals were players. That was super surprising to me.
Yeah.
I was like,
saw
what?
that.
You know what I mean?
I saw one right here on the page.
Like maybe they think Joe Burrow's gonna like come in and light the league on fire. Might as well help him. They got. I mean, that's what it looks like. DJ Reader, Trey Waynes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like they went big on defense. Like I was surprised by that. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Who
Definitely
else?
didn't
Let's
surprise that.
see.
Vic Beasley somehow gets $9.5 million, maybe 12. Hey, go Vic Beasley.
Oh yeah.
Go get that money, bro. Give
Yeah.
us a comp pick next year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm down. Vic Beasley, Devondre Campbell, Austin Hooper, Wes Schweitzer get signed by the Redskins.
What's up with these old timers? Thomas Davis and Jason Witten. There's abuelos, man.
Bro, Jason Witt almost got $5 million from the Raiders. I don't know what that's about. I mean, first of all, they got Darren Waller. Then they signed Jason Witten. Then they signed another tight end. I even can't think of on top of my head who it is right now. Like I don't know what they're
Like
doing.
you said,
maybe leadership.
But leadership and blocking, no? I think that's
No,
what you
definitely. He's one of the best all around tight ends in NFL history.
Yeah, and
Thomas Davis goes back. Well, that's in the same thing. Wants the big culture and Ron Rivera's scheme to the Washington Redskins. Which I tell you what, if they draft Chase Young like everybody thinks they're going to do, that's a bad front seven, bro. And it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what Haskins is going to do, but we'll see.
Yeah. Other than that, I think everyone.
I mean, the Eagles get Javon Hargrave and Darius Slay. That's Howie
yeah.
Roseman doing it again.
Would you say the
He's so good at doing that.
Get rich.
The rich get richer, man.
The rich get rich.
You gotta think. Even though they lost Jason Peters and Hala put it with the Vaitai or whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I could probably pronounce it. But I'm not even gonna try right now. But the fact that Vaitai's there. They lost Vaitai, they lost Peters, but they drafted Andre Dillard last year to replace Peters for that same reason. Now they got somebody to protect Carson Wentz's blind side. They just need receivers, and guess what? This is the draft to do it. So watch out for the Eagles next year. I mean, Howie Roseman just continues to build that team. That team is loaded.
Which I think we should possibly pick up Jason Peters for a year, see what happens.
Think so? Wouldn't be a bad. I mean, he's
see
barely
why not.
stayed healthy.
Yeah.
But I mean, depends how much money he's asking for. Would you rather have Jason Peters for like a 1 year or maybe trade for Trent Williams? Although they're probably going to want a lot.
Yeah, no, that means either our first, second, or third.
Nah.
Yeah.
And we just talked about guys that you want with those picks.
Exactly.
So it's like
No. Yeah, it's not. No. Like I was talking to my bro Daniel, and he was saying at this point we should just wait and hope that the Redskins just cut him.
I mean, they didn't do it last year. I don't know if they're gonna do it this year.
They really want something for him. Huh?
Oh, because they're at this point they're just gonna hold him hostage until somebody gives something.
But like you said, either we wait till I'm not wait, but we just kind of hoping and see that he gets cut, or just not even touch him. But if he gets cut, definitely you go out there and see if you can make a hefty proposal to him. But
if he's on the free market.
But right now, like I really don't want to draft a tackle on our first three, just because we just talked about the first three.
But there's some special ones.
Yeah,
bro.
I know there's special.
There's some special ones.
I'm not wasting this pick number 6 on an offensive.
I mean, the Colts did it with Quentin Nelson, and look what he did.
Well, yeah, he's a beast for sure. Yeah. I don't know, man. Offensive line, and then Jalen Hurts in the second and a running back in the third. Maybe, but I want Simmons, man. At this point,
That defense
but like I
will
said,
be
if they
sick.
go Herbert and Love, I'm cool with that. If they go Tua, well, what are you gonna do? Oh, let's just hope and pray that he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, and then you got that little Drew Brees accuracy back in Southern California.
Yeah,
You know,
true. But I don't know. We'll just wrap it up with one of your favorite players, Cam Newton. What do you?
where does he go?
Where does he go?
At this point, I don't care. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's out of my division. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Chargers, even though I like rooting for the Chargers and I don't root for Cam. But I don't know. Maybe now that he's out of my division, it won't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I have no idea where Cam could go right now. I mean, we thought the Bears were a good option, but they went ahead and traded for Nick Foles. So
Bill Belichick take a chance on him.
I mean, why? I mean, I don't think Bill wants to. I think Bill wants
He wants to prove everyone wrong with
with Jared Stidham, bro. And then, like I said, and if he's wrong, guess what? He might get Trevor Lawrence next year. So, like, you know,
Yeah, because even if he's pick number 10 or 12.
I mean, Bill Belichick went 11-5 with Matt Castle. Think about that. 11-5 with Matt Castle. Like, Jared Stidham has more talent than Matt Castle. Sorry to say. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, let's wrap this up real quick by talking about the Rams logo, dude. What the heck, man?
I don't know what Eric Dickerson was saying. Like, I mean, there is a phallic, in his name. But then he's saying that the Rams logo looks like it has a phallic shaped thing in it. Like that when you sent me that, I was like, what? Where do you see that?
No, I didn't see it either. But now that
well, a friend of ours sent us a little picture of it going, But
I think they changed it, man. I don't know. What do you guys think, Rams fan? You guys want the logo change? You guys like it or?
I don't hate it.
I
just like the old one. I don't think it needed to be messed with. That's my biggest thing. But I don't hate it.
I don't hate the Ram. I definitely wouldn't have to make modifications on what everyone's calling the.
I get it.
But the LA one with the little horns, what are you doing?
Not feeling it?
No, it looks like a Swap Me logo.
He said, like a bootleg swap me logo.
Yeah,
That was pretty
bootleg.
funny when you sent me that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys
Well,
think?
I mean, we'll see. There's like 7 teams making changes to their logo / uniforms.
Oh yeah,
So that's going to be fun to see. So we got the Chargers, we got the Rams, we got the Browns, the Falcons, the Patriots, who else? There's like 5. There's like 2 more.
you said the Browns.
I did.
You said, wait, it's
was
been
Chargers.
5 years already? 6 years?
I don't think so, but somehow they're going to do it. We'll see what it is.
I wonder if you get penalized and you just roll with it.
I thought it was every 5-6 years the NFL lets them do it, but I don't know. But maybe because the Browns are such an old team, the NFL's like, all right, whatever, do what you want, don't matter.
Yeah.
Make yourself relevant somehow. Even though they got talent, but whatever. Put it on the field, Browns. Let's go.
Yeah,
I want to
let's
see you in
go.
the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. It's been almost 52 minutes, almost an hour, just talking football. But
You guys got time.
Yeah,
Let's
you guys
be
got
real.
time,
You're
yeah.
home. You know what I'm saying?
it's been a while too since we released the video. I mean, when
Yeah.
I say wow, I think it's been like a
2
week
weeks.
and
Probably like 2 weeks. Yeah.
But and then with all this, going on in the world, and
Yeah, I mean-
it's been a little tough.
Yeah, we haven't been trying to visit each other or anything like that. But we've been staying home too. So guys, if you have time on your hands, listen, like, subscribe, tell us what you think. Which teams blew it in free agencies? Which teams killed it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let us know. Give us your opinion, and we'd like to continue this going on.
I like it.
Next meeting, I don't know when it'll be. We'll figure it out.
We got to get a
until then,
mock draft though.
We'll get one closer to the draft.
Yeah.
I would like to do one.
Maybe
closer.
about a
I don't want to do
week.
like 5.
No.
I'm not trying to do one every week.
Okay, maybe we'll do one like a week before the draft.
I'm down.
We'll do a mock draft for you guys.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
by then you should have more players signed to the teams, and we'll have an idea of what everyone should.
Yeah.
At least the first.
And
2
obviously,
rounds.
we don't have the insight.
That these guys
we
do?
would do a mock draft more like what we would do, knowing what we know about each
Right.
team and where we think position fits. That's what we would do because we don't have the insight that some of these insiders have.
For sure.
But it's smoke season anyway. It's smoke screen season. So in other words, like those guys are just hearing stuff, but most of the time they're lies just to throw off the other teams. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
for sure.
at the end of the day, we'll just give you what we think and see how right we are.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
fun.
We got to watch draft day.
One of the worst movies of all times, but it is one of my guilty pleasures. I'm not even gonna lie,
Same here.
dude. It's such a bad movie, but I don't know why,
I usually watch it like about a couple days before the job. Not even gonna lie.
bro.
I had my wife watch it too.
She
enjoyed it, bro. She didn't hate it either.
Yeah, I mean the 3 second rounders for a top 5 pick is what threw me off. Like the movie wasn't terrible until that trade happened. Like for me at least. But I guess the Jennifer Gardner and Kevin Costner relationship was a little unbelievable. But hey, it happens. It happens. We already know. You know, a GM with power and whatnot. Well, whatever. Let's not get into that. But draft day, we ain't got nothing else to do.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Draft
you know?
day and Ozark. You start watching Ozark? Yet?
I have not.
Dude, season 3 just came out.
Yeah, I'm lacking. I didn't want to get into new show. I've been stuck on Madden. I kind of been addicted to Madden right now.
Yeah,
Putting the new players on their new teams in Madden
see what
kind of
happens?
got me. Yeah, it's
Who's
fun.
been torturing you in Madden?
Tom Brady did, but I came back and beat him. Tom Brady tortured me, bro. That dude, he completed like his first 18 passes against me. Obviously, I play on all Madden, but it was a pain. But I came back and won. It was a miracle. It was a miracle win. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna get into that now, but it was fun.
Who else did you say? Chris Harris?
Chris Harris was like dominating Julio Jones at the line, bro. Like I was, get the heck out of here, bro. 6'3", 220-pound Julio Jones, a little 5'10", 200-pound Chris Harris was like throwing him around. I'm like, bro, this some nonsense right here. But whatever. Madden with your little superstar mode killed me last year, but it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get the Madden this last year, but I'll get it this year.
Dude, that superstar when
Like,
you play
I was
against.
telling you, at this point, I don't want to get it now.
No, it's no point.
It's no point. Just
no
wait
point.
till the new one. You know.
But yeah, the superstar mode when you play against the AI and all Madden, bro, it's ridiculous. Like ridiculous, bro. It's it'll get you pissed off. It'll get you in the flesh, how us Christians like to say. You know, but all right, signing off. We've been here for a while.
All right, guys. Have a good one. See you guys in the next video.
Be safe. Stay home. God bless.
Like he said, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. And we hope to keep making video for you guys. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Take care. God bless, and prayers
God bless,
and thoughts and prayers to everyone out there that's going through
for sure.
tough times
and
out
affected financially with jobs and
too,
everything
yeah.
too. For sure. We're praying for you guys.
there. All right, guys.
Take
Bless
care.
up.
God
Take
bless.
care.
Bye.